ATEMs are an awesome piece of kit. They came out just as the world was ending, and whether you were a business, whether you were a local community group, whether you were a church, or you just wanted to stay engaged, streaming became the new go-to thing just as these minis came out. And they were incredible. We've got a extreme ISO here, got a Mini Pro literally in my hands, got an ISO at home, and my church has one. They are awesome, but times have changed. There's more competition in the market. You've got your YOLO box, you've got your OC, you've got your Rodecaster video. Although the ATEM was amazing for its day, the times have changed, the years have gone on, and it's just not performing like what we're wanting now. So a few weeks ago, I was just mindlessly scrolling on my phone when I saw that the G2 got announced. Now, this got me super excited because I was literally talking to a few broadcast mates, talking about how much the ATEM was a game changer, but how much they also needed to release a new one because it was just struggling. It was too old. It wasn't giving the performance that we wanted it to give. But before I get into the whole G2 and my thoughts about that, I want to go through my wish list of what I wanted the new ATEM series to really bring to the table. Although the ATEM is an absolute incredible piece of kit, the fact that you have 4 HDMI inputs and you can output, you can stream, you can record, you can do all that stuff, that is amazing. A ton of people complained that it was 1080. Didn't really care about that, to be honest. The thing that I cared about is, yes, you can do all that, but the overheating was horrible. My extreme ISO that I've got here, I've literally had to get a little Amazon fan and a stand just so I can maintain a frame rate, just so it doesn't overheat, just so it doesn't freak out and glitch out. The ATEMs are notorious for overheating. So in the new generation, the biggest thing I wanted, I didn't care if the new generation was 1080 or 4K. I wanted it to be stable. I wanted it to be able to take into environments and know that it would actually follow through and not fall over on its face. The amount of times it's frozen, the amount of times it's overheated has just driven me insane. Mind you, I do live in Queensland, which is freaking hot, but I still want my ATEM to be able to cope, or at least let me know beforehand that it's gonna go into some issues. So the macros in the ATEM is kind of where I feel where you go from a normal ATEM user to a power user. You can do your super sourcing, you can do lower thirds, you can do multi-cuts, you can do all this incredible stuff. But what absolutely drives me batty is I fire my macro and I literally watch it play out. I want my macro to run everything like that. I don't want to see half the scene cut in and then it cut over it. In the new G2, I need it to fire the macros a lot faster. I don't want to be watching it go live. Probably the biggest downfall of the ATEM is it is a video mixer. It is not an audio mixer. That's why I usually pair it with a Rodecaster or something like that. But now with the Rodecaster video out, you kind of question yourself, well, why would I go with an ISO when I could go with a Rodecaster video? It's got the audio and the video all in one awesome kit. So what I really want from the G2 is I want to be able to handle the audio a lot better. I want more than just 2 3.5s in. I want more than just the HDMI audio. I want to be able to control it a lot more. I want ISO audio recording. Even if I could get virtual inputs, that would be freaking awesome for recording so I can ISO edit it afterwards. I just need the ATEM Mini to handle the audio a lot better, just like the Rodecaster video does. There's only one encoder on the extremes. And if you're like me and you live in Australia, your internet sucks, absolutely sucks. So I can only record and stream at the lowest quality possible. I can't set the recording and the streaming at 2 different levels because you've only got one encoder, or a master and slave encoder, I think it is. So what I would love is if we had 2 separate encoders. I could record at a really high quality and I could stream at a lower quality, because then my internet's not going to fall over. So that's not a requirement, but that would be an absolute dream in the G2. If you're like me, you love taking the ATEM to ultimate extremes, And the biggest limitation, I think, with the Mini Extreme is the lack of video playback. I've got to do a HDMI source for video playback. I can't do anything pre-multiplied to do with video. I can't do stingers. I can't do anything fun like that because the ATEM just can't cope. Now, what I would love is if I could do a SD card or do something, do an input into that, so then I could fire a video with pre-multiplied or with alpha included, so I could play that over. So then you can do some really cool transitions, you can do cool lower thirds, you can do a lot more stuff if I can play a video with alpha. So I know with the higher level ATEMs and the constellations, you can play, 200, 400 frames through the media player. Even something like that would be okay. But ideally, I'd love to be able to play a video with a alpha layer without having to require a hyperdeck or anything like that to be able to input the two videos. So one of the things that the Rodecaster video brought on, which was an absolute game changer, was scenes. I could do a super source. I could have me and 3 cameras. I could have me and my computer. I could have me and my 2 cameras. I could just have me and someone I'm interviewing. I could do anything like that, and I could do it all at the click of a button. Yes, you programmed it before, but once you wanted it to go live, click of a button, it was live. Now, technically, you can do that through the macros, but like what I said before, the macros don't actually fire very well. I might be able to set up the super source, but you'll see cam 1, cam 2, cam 3, you'll see them all fire on, and it's not a clean experience. Even in the new ATEM, if I could have multiple super sources that are saved, that will fire like that, and I'm not gonna have that glitchy macro feel, then I'll be happy with that. But I just need them to be able to handle that better. So that was my wish list for what I wanted the new ATEM G2 to do. Now, does it do it? Not really. Frankly, I was pretty disappointed. This is something that I could definitely get my hands on later and have my mind absolutely blown and be like, oh my God, I was so wrong. But right now, looking at it, I go, yeah, it's okay, but I'm looking at spending $3,200 on a new ATEM. Why don't I just go out and buy a Constellation? I could buy 2 Roadcasters for that price. So what is the thing that is really pushing me towards getting an ATEM? Yeah, I can do a tiny bit of video playback. I do love the idea of an extra HDMI port. I love the fact that I can plug in via Thunderbolt and I can do live replays. I can do all that stuff, but it's not overly mind-blowing. They're going, I want to hit the professional market on a little portable kit like that. I don't know any professionals that would rely on the ATEM. They haven't done anything to address the overheating. The macros still feel the same. They're still using your upstream keys, your downstream keys. They're still using that system, which I feel like is not going to work. The Rodecaster still has a better audio handle, I would say. The Rodecaster has those scenes, which I think is an absolute game changer. I don't see the ATEM G2 worth the money. At the moment, the Constellation feels better, the Rodecaster video goes better, hell, even the OC feels better than this, because the extra things that they're giving you are already included in them. You've got your extra HDMI port, you've got a lot more control with your macros, you've got more audio control, you've got these things already at a lot higher entry level. So why would I go for the G2? What incentive? It kind of feels like you're hitting at the professional market that want to be cheap asses and don't actually want to invest into a proper system. So if someone was to approach me right now and go, Tim, I want to get into streaming, I want my business to get into streaming and recording, I want to do a podcast, I want to do whatever, would I recommend the G2? No. I would probably recommend, honestly, for the money, I would probably recommend the old ISO or a Videocaster. I am hoping to be proven wrong. I want my mind to be blown, but at the moment it's really not. It feels pretty disappointing. So Blackmagic, please change my mind. You were the OG and you did such a damn good job at it. But the innovation that you were offering felt more like a reaction to the Rodecaster with a very expensive price tag compared to something that was actually going to up the game. Didn't want 4K, I just wanted you to handle what you were already doing a bit better and give me a bit more freedom with what I wanted to do. So do you agree with my little ramble about the ATEMs here? Do you think that the G2 is a game changer? Are you going to spend all your money on it? Or do you think something like a Rodecaster video is the way to go? Are you a business and you just want to create that content as simple as possible? Or are you a semi-professional where you're wanting to take this and you're wanting to do live events, so you're wanting to do it in a more portable way? That might be for you, but I still think something like the Constellation is worth the extra weight, I guess. But please prove me wrong. Yell at me in the comments if you don't agree. Please be civil. But thank you for watching my rant. Really appreciate it. And have a good one. Peace.